I'm Shauna from Island Skin Solutions. If you're looking for an alternative to waxing and shaving, we have a solution for you. Our laser hair removal offers long-lasting, safe, and effective results. This month, we're offering 15% off of our laser hair removal packages, which are already buy 3, get 1 free. If you're interested in laser hair removal, contact us to set up your consultation today.
Got Medicaid? Paradise Dental's got you covered. Got you covered from the moment you walk in the door with some of Saipan's best smiles. Medicaid covers your fillings, your extractions, and your checkups with no out-of-pocket expense. And Medicaid covers all of your x-rays without any additional cost to you. So remember, if you've got Medicaid, you're covered. Don't wait for a toothache. Call Paradise Dental today. Come here often.
Hi, I'm Shauna Brenfleck, nurse practitioner and owner of Island Skin Solutions and Wellness Clinic. We are Saipan's only medical spa offering a wide range of services to meet your unique skincare goals. We offer exclusive medical-grade skincare products that can only be purchased from a licensed medical professional. We also have the CNMI's only master esthetician, who offers new patient consultations that include a mini facial tailored to your needs. Schedule your consultation today to get started on your skincare journey.
The wife and 5 children of the man accused of throwing Molotov cocktails at demonstrators in Boulder are being taken into custody by federal immigration authorities.
Today, the Department of Homeland Security and ICE are taking the family of suspected Boulder, Colorado terrorist and illegal alien Mohammed Solomon into ICE custody. Now, Mohammed's despicable actions will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. But we're also investigating to what extent his family knew about this horrific attack, if they had any knowledge of it, or if they provided support to it.
There's been closing arguments in Harvey Weinstein's retrial on sex assault and rape charges. AP's Julie Walker.
Up first, the defense in Harvey Weinstein's New York rape and sex assault trial, giving closing arguments. The disgraced movie mogul's lawyer, Arthur Aidala, portraying his client as a self-made man and his accusers as troubled and canny women with broken dreams who used Weinstein to try and make their Hollywood ambitions come true. Aidala telling jurors Weinstein is the original poster boy for the Me Too movement, and the prosecution was out to get him again after his first conviction was overturned. The prosecution says Weinstein is guilty of rape and sex assault and had 3 women give days of testimony about their experience. His lawyers say anything that took place was consensual. At criminal court in Manhattan, I'm Julie Walker.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the U.S. Trade Representative has notified American trading partners, telling them tomorrow is President Trump's deadline for making best offers on trade.
USTR sent this letter to all of our trading partners just to give them a friendly reminder that the deadline is coming up. And they are in talks. Ambassador Greer, Secretary Besson, Secretary Lutnick are in talks with many of our key trading partners around the globe.
This is AP News. The Liberal Party candidate is sorting out to be the winner of South Korea's presidential election.
Kim Moon-soo with the conservative People Power Party has conceded defeat in the presidential election to Liberal opposition candidate Lee Jae-myung. Lee's supporters with the Democratic Party cheered as exit poll results were read. His election caps months of political drama and protests triggered by the declaration of martial law by by the now ousted conservative leader Yoon Suk-yeol. High voter turnout suggested a public eagerness to move past the political turmoil. Because of the early election, Lee will be sworn in as president on Wednesday for a single full term of 5 years without the typical 2-month transition period. It's not clear whether the shift will lead to changes in South Korea's foreign policy. During the campaign, Lee has repeatedly stressed South Korea's alliance with the U.S., while critics have accused him of tilting towards China and North Korea. I'm Jennifer King.
I'm Haya Panjwani, AP News.
PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Good morning, Marianas! It is Wednesday. It is hump day. It is time to go to work. If you're just hanging out on the couch, come on, get up. Go do something. Go do something. Hey, today is going to be a great day. If you don't have a plan for today, that's all right. We'll figure it out for you. We'll talk a little bit about what's going on with the news, sports, weather, and everything else here in the Marianas. It's a great place to be. Good morning, everybody. It's 83 degrees outside, 7:42 a.m. here in Saipan. The humidity's at 79%, and that's a little muggy, but it's on its way down. That's pretty good. Today, we're looking at some scattered showers. Rain can be pretty heavy at times. The first time we've seen that phrase from the National Weather Service. Partly sunny skies, high near 88 today. It's going to be a lighter wind than yesterday. Wind out of the east, 9 to 11 miles per hour, and a 30% chance of rain. But if you look at it outside right now, it's gorgeous. It couldn't be even better. It's like the Steve Irwin from the Crocodile Hunter. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. That's exactly how it looks outside today. It absolutely is. Hey, tonight we got a pretty good chance of rain, too. 30% chance of rain out there. Mostly cloudy skies, 78 degrees. Woo! It's going to be a nice one. It'll be comfortable. Hopefully, you're not going to have to use your air conditioning, and that is the plan. Want to say congratulations to our graduates from Marianas High School. Now it's your second day in the real world. You are now official members of the Post-High School Society, and I hope everything is going great for you. And don't worry, your incoming crowd of juniors who will be seniors, I think they're going to hold it down just fine. We got our intern, John Bukid. He's not with us this morning because he still has school. They got school for another week over at MHS. And if he's any indication, the Dolphins will be in good hands. He's a great dude. And we'll be seeing a lot more of him coming up for the next few months. We got him all summer. I'm looking forward to that. There's a new crowd of interns coming in as well. Can you believe it? I mean, we're going to be intern rich here. We're going to have people in the studio with us. Should be a lot of fun. But hey, instead of worrying about who's going to be coming, let's talk about who's here with us right now. Good morning. Oh my God, my mom is watching from New York. Good morning, Mom. I love you. I miss you guys already, and I miss your cooking already too. Thanks so much for tuning in. Giovanni Sablon, good morning. Great to see you. Thanks for tuning in this morning. Gus, half a day, lesson why. Are you here or are you out there in Hawaii now? It's good to see you on the show. Cade Mangarero, thank you so much for tuning in. Great to see you. Half a day Zantiro. Oh my goodness. Luisa Cabrera. She says, good morning. Good morning, Marianas, and shout outs to her son, Kid Caleb, for being done with middle school, on to high school. And congrats to all the other graduates. That's right, Hopwood. Hopwood had their promotion ceremony yesterday. And man, those guys, they're going to go from a temporary school to a legit full-on building next year. So that's a big win for them for sure. My goodness, after all those years, they at least got the temporary buildings this year, which are pretty nice. I gotta say, they are pretty nice. But still, now you're going to go to like a real legit concrete building, and holy cow, it's going to feel like school all over again. Loy Atalig, congrats to you too, man, just for being here. Great to see you. Toba Castro, the tip man from Dan. That's right. He puts the Luda in ludicrous. All right, good morning. Julie Abatam, great to see you. It's, you know what? Actually, in the morning, it should be up and at 'em. Great to see you. Thanks for tuning in this morning. Great to see you. John William Lesser Mwamwai. Great to see you as well, my friend. Thanks for coming back. Billing Gazebo, putting in the long distance. He's watching from Guam. Maybe we'll get lucky and we'll hear him on the phone today. Do you think we're due for a call from Peeling Gazetmo? I have a peeling that we are. Hey, great to see you guys. Tamara Hunter, great to see you. Thanks so much for tuning in and joining us this morning as we get in and start tackling some of the issues that we're facing here in the Marianas. And my goodness, you know, we started following some things not too long ago, and we're happy to tell you about that. Not the tip man no more, now the hurt man. Nice, Tobat. We'll come up with something. We'll come up with something for you. Now you got all that time in your hands. You can make your way over to the studio and hang out for a little bit. But we're happy to talk about the podcast that was featuring one of our professors from NMC. Yanni Burrell was featured. It's on the podcast called All Across America. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, and it certainly was cool to see our friend on there and talking about what's going on in the Marianas, how they got involved, or how history is here and how culture is here and all that other stuff. I mean, I don't know how they got together, but they were also really talking about Yanni's book that he helped edit with the NMC Proa. And man, I'll tell you what, it is just cool to see our folks doing good things. Now, there's another podcast that wasn't as shiny, happy, fun to talk about. We received the email from the FBI. That's right, the federal guys reached out to us. No, they were not reaching out to start going through our records. No. We said, sorry, the buildings that you want are a little bit north. No, the FBI has a podcast. And who knew that the FBI has a podcast? I didn't know it. Well, anyway, they do, and they reached out and sent it to us because it was last week's episode was called Searching for the Luke Sisters. We're going to play this for you later on the show today, so you guys can listen to what their take was on it. They reached out to sorry, I'm laughing at the comments. The FBI podcast where they featured one of the guys who was a special agent here for a long time and friends to a lot of folks. He ended up retiring, Special Agent Hejun Park, and one of our current special agents from the FBI locally here, Rick Bauer. And they're featured. They talk about this story, and they talk about what the impact it had on the community. And again, we're going to share that with you this morning. Good morning, and great to see you, Ann Attow. Great to see you this morning. I haven't seen a cat gif here, so I don't know. Is that you or is somebody using your account? Who knows? We'll never know unless there's some cats involved. Juan Nendon, great to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. Brother Eric Mothnas, great to see you, my veteran brother. So awesome that you're back in here with us again this morning as we start running down things happening here in the Marianas. We did hit you up already with the update from the Associated Press. We led off with that this morning. Later, we're going to have, every hour, we're going to have that update. The other thing that we got today is a special treat where we've got Landon Aidlet on tap. He's just about 10 minutes away. In fact, I'm messaging him that right now. 10 minutes! But man, what a treat it is to get Landon on here. Talk about everything that's happening through that he's got on the radar, literally and figuratively, for the U.S. National Weather Service out of Guam. These guys are great. we are lucky to have them. I want to ask you more about that rain that I talked about because, again, remember when he told us that if there's a percentage of rain in the forecast, it means it's going to rain, right? But it says the rain could be heavy at times. Some new terminology. I wonder. I mean, I believe him. It's just interesting. Martin De La Cruz in the house. Thanks so much for tuning in. Great to see you today. Really. All right. Where do you guys want to begin? Well, we can get into all this stuff because there's tons of stuff happening here. If you were just reading the paper this morning, you're able to see a lot of the stuff that we talked about yesterday. Ooh, is that a humble brag? Is that a slight dig? No, I'm just saying that we talked about some of this stuff yesterday. And if you want to know more about it, this is the place to go. And by the way, if you guys have questions, you got comments, you want to talk about what's happening here, give us a ring. The phone number is 670-789-2323. And by the way, if you're worried, it's like, man, long distance, maybe you're calling from somewhere else. Don't worry. Find WhatsApp. You can WhatsApp call that too. We'll be able to get you on the board. And you can talk to the folks here in the Marianas or talk to your neighbors, talk about whatever it is that is grinding your gears, or, maybe you want to give some shout outs to somebody. You want to congratulate somebody for doing something awesome. This is your show. We're able to do that for you. This is how we rock it. Oh my goodness. Vincent Huckug. Oh my goodness. This guy, I got great stories about this guy. He's awesome. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching us this morning. Great to see you. Ooh, Saipan Baseball League action tonight. Falcons versus the Bandits. Louisa, who you got? Who you got? You got the Falcons or you got the Bandits? The Falcons were awesome last year. Bandits were really good too. Falcons were one of the folks that we thought they were a championship possibility. But it didn't work out. But they got great pitching, they got some great fielding, and all that other stuff. We'll see how it translates to the team in this season. I hope they do well because I like those guys. They're a lot of fun. They're fun to hang out with. And, man, we'll see how they do this year. But so getting back to it, some of the headlines, again, these are things that we talked about yesterday. At least we introduced them because it was such a busy day. We talked about the Commonwealth Casino Commission. And that they are really, they don't have any duties anymore, that they're gone. They gone. We haven't heard a peep out of them yet, but hopefully we will hear from them at some point today. We want to reach out to them and hear what they have to say about everything, because they went from having those meetings with nobody in the room to now not even having those meetings. Now, that makes me wonder what happens with those agreements that the Commonwealth Casino Commission had with the folks who own the Springs Plaza, because they've had that office there for the past 5 years when the governor said that there was nothing going on. They haven't had any funding. So they owe a lot of back rent, and they have a lot of sensitive documents over there as well, as far as like the former casino employees and everything, and they can't get rid of them. They've got to keep them for a certain amount of time. So where does that stuff go now? Good question. Somebody's got to take care of that stuff, and if they can shred them, great. But when we spoke with the casino commissioner chair, Mr. De Leon Guerrero, he told us, hey, we were told that we can't shred them. Well, then they've also got all that furniture, and they've got all that stuff over there, and they've got, I assume there's computers and everything over there as well. So what happens with all that gear? Where does it go? Is it procurement? Would procurement even be the right place? Who is the government agency responsible for all that government equipment and the accountability for it? Where does it go? These are the next things that they've got to tackle. And if you've got some ideas for it, let us know. We'd love to hear it. Oh, yeah, exactly. In the comments. Jimbo Ray fan. Dude, this guy went from being a champion of folks with developmental disabilities, folks running OVR, then putting it all out there to run for public office. And now he became this content creator on social media. And I'm telling you, man, I love all the stuff that you're doing. He's doing farming stuff, fishing stuff, even doing some artwork stuff, a lot of engagement with the family. Man, I'm loving all this stuff that you're doing. You know, if you get back in the writing business, send them my way, because I want to post that stuff again. I mean, you're just a great guy, and I'm happy to see all this stuff that you're doing. And who knows what's next for you? I wonder if that little brush with politics and elections got to make him run for office again at a more local level. What do you think, Jimbo? You going to get out there again? You got to do some waving again and all that other stuff? I'm curious to see how it works out. All right. Anyway, but finding out what happens with the Casino Commission is going to be a big thing, too. We already know that it's not there anymore. So what happens with all their stuff? Who has to pay for all that back rent? Who has to, and should they have been able to do that in the first place? I mean, that's a big thing, right? They knew that there wasn't any income coming in. They knew that there wasn't any, and the only income that they had for the Casino Commission to run itself was from casino fees. And there were no casino fees because nobody was paying, because there was no casino that was in operation. And for years, they were spiraling. They were having their stuff auctioned off and everything like that. So I totally understand why the governor did this. And I imagine the commissioners do as well. The question is now, who has to pay for all that stuff? Who has to pay all that back rent? And that's a lot. That's a lot of, years of that place. And is it $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month? Can you imagine they paid for all that stuff? Well, they didn't pay. They obligated the Commonwealth of the Northern Marianas for that. That's what I am I'm interested in seeing how that's going to work out. So it's over. It's official. What do you guys think about it? You know, what do you think is going to happen with that? And what's the next step? You know, the Lottery Commission, it's the Secretaries of Finance, Commerce, and Public Safety. Someone messaged me yesterday. He's like, hey, none of these guys are there anymore, and one of them's deceased. I'm like, yeah, I know. So you have to name the new guys. They already know. Tracy Narita is for Finance. Commerce is Remy Mofnas, and then Commissioner Marianas. So that's the Lottery Commission. Get on it! I mean, I don't think they have an office. I don't think they meet. I don't think they have anything. But I wonder if now they're going to have new responsibilities that they're going to have to jump on to do this stuff. And that's a toughie, because these guys, it's not like they don't already have enough to do. So those responsibilities, they were only meant initially to just be for a brief amount of time. I think what you need to do is add a couple other folks to the Lottery Commission, and then you almost have to build it out a little bit and make sure that it's funded. Here's something else that will help. Legal representation. I think they're going to need it. I know they haven't really been doing much, so they didn't need it before, but now they do. They're going to need somebody to help guide them through this process of these new responsibilities, and they're going to need some folks on their staff. So we'll see where this goes, but it's a bigger issue. And even though we don't have an actual casino, but there's a bigger issue that they're going to have to face, and we're going to have to see how that rolls out with these guys. True story. All right, guys. Hey, we're about just about 8 o'clock, and that means we're just about to land an hour here. We're going to reach out to Landon Aidlet from the National Weather Service. We're going to give him a call right now. We're going to start that ringing. You guys can hear it, too. And let me turn that down, actually. Holy cow. I can see him. The man, the myth, the legend is here. I don't know what's going on with that screen, though. It's all over the place, but there we go. Hey, Landon, can you hear us?
I hear you loud and clear.
I love it. Now all I got to do, okay, I got you on the screen part of the way. Okay, so that's where it's going to go. Let me get you on here if I'm lucky enough to figure it out this first time. Nope, the answer is, sometimes it works great. Sometimes it doesn't. So let's do this here real quick. No, it's not the window. It's going to be the display, I think. So just give me a fast second, because I do have you on the other one.
Time's up.
I actually call it Landon to make sure. And there it is. Good. I got you. All right. So now I just got to make it so it's the right size on the screen so everyone could see you. And we're about a second away. Maybe I should just start doing this ahead of time. What do you think? Maybe a little preparation might be helpful.
Procrastination got me through college successfully. Of course, by level of success, that remains up to question, but it got me through college.
I wouldn't say it's procrastination. I think it's just there's an old song back in the late 90s or mid 90s. What I need from you is understand. Understanding what I was calling. What I got for you is piss poor planning. All right. Anyway,
Plan ahead.
There we go. Speaking of head, he is the head guy that we get to talk to over at the National Weather Service over in Guam. Landon.
Good morning.
So it's not the Tuma. It's not the typhoon. I love that post that you had a couple days ago.
You know, and it's funny because Facebook Memories, it was the exact same photo that I posted yesterday. I think it was back in 2019. And so I keep that on a rotating file that this time of the year, when we get a heavy rainfall, people start to panic and rumors spread. And so I was like, you know what? Let me find that on my Facebook and repost it. And then it came up a day later back in 2019. So it's always this time of year it happens.
Well, it did, and it was hilarious, and I got a big kick out of it when I got to see it yesterday. Anyway, or the other day. Hey, so what's shaking? The weather. I know it looks like we've got nothing on the horizon scary, so that part's great.
Yeah, that is correct. And so it's really a dynamic weather pattern. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my camera around so you can see what I'm looking at, the visible satellite. And so excuse those early frames in that loop. That's the nighttime darkness passing by, and now we see the daytime. And so it's a very complex weather setup that we have across the region. And this is something we've been talking about with the upper level dynamics, the tropical upper tropospheric trough, the Tut cell. That's what's playing with the weather. That's typical for this time of the year. We are hardcore to the transition season, and it's feeling very much like wet season. Of course, we see a lot of white. Those are the clouds, the showers and thunderstorms. I'm going to dim out the clouds, and you can see the burst of lightning strikes just northeast of Guam. We had quite a bit of lightning yesterday across all of Guam and the CNMI, and just to the west, where we had showers and thunderstorms really clustered west of Rototini and Saipan. And so it's a mixed bag this morning of weather with dry conditions, dry and sunny in Saipan and Tinian, and much more clouds and showers near Guam and Rota. But where is that Tut cell, that tropical upper tropospheric trough? That's a tough one. So that's what we call the Tut cell. That's right over here. So you see a little bit of rotation up there.
Yeah.
That is not a typhoon. That is not a surface circulation, but it's an upper level atmospheric circulation, a low pressure system high up in the atmosphere, and that provides instability. And so when you have one of those near your area and it's fixated with a surface feature, like a surface trough that we have, they can combine in the right conditions to form heavy showers and thunderstorms. So what would normally be light to moderate showers, you could see much heavier showers, and if they sit in place, they could drop significant rainfall in a short period of time, as well as with thunderstorms. So that's what we're seeing the last couple of days, and that's going to be rolling right on by. This is going to be the theme. Will it be a washout? Will you have like a complete deluge where it just washes out an entire day? Probably not, and that's why the weekly outlook yesterday very clearly tried to state that it's going to be a mixture of sunshine, clouds, showers, and briefly heavy showers at times with thunderstorms. And so really, this is going to be the theme through the next several days and the next week. And so we do have a little bit of stuff popping up. I'm going to switch over to water vapor to show you the moisture in the atmosphere. But this is the Doppler weather radar. Some showers starting to pop up. So you're going to have some cluster of showers and maybe a brief thunderstorm, a rumble of thunder or two roll over Tinian and Saipan in the next little bit, maybe the next hour or two. But otherwise, it's not so bad up in Tinian and Saipan, but that could change in short order with this upper level weather pattern we have in place. And so go back to the water vapor, that mostly drier air funneling into that Tut cell. You can see it really good in this moisture imagery, the white being much wetter atmosphere and the blue moist but the yellow very dry. And so depending on where this sets up, you can get some pretty good dynamics. And so this is going to be the theme through the next several days. And then later into the weekend, the weather forecast really hinges on how things will develop to our southeast. And so we were talking yesterday in their weekly outlook about a possible monsoon setting up across Palau. I'm just looking at the weather observations there. We're seeing some westerly winds already in Palau. So that looks like things are picking up right in hand with the American GFS model, which typically spins up tropical cyclones more aggressively in the longer range than other global forecast models. And so this is keeping up in track with what the forecast models were saying yesterday with westerly winds. And we could see that monsoon push, maybe some tropical weather development somewhere in the Philippine Sea, but to our west next week, depending on how that sets up, if it sets up, it will either keep us wet and showery across Guam and the Sinai or pull the moisture farther west into the Philippine Sea. And so this is that setup. This is the weekly outlook from yesterday. Currently, no tropical cyclones active in the region. JTWC, we're not monitoring any suspect areas, no invest areas across the West or North Pacific. And again, that could change sometime next week, depending on what happens near the Philippines. And of course, the peripheral environment could enhance or diminish shower potentials this weekend and early next week across Guam and the CNMI. And so if you go to our Facebook page, I just posted some information for Typhoon Preparedness Month, all about tropical cyclones. What is a tropical cyclone? That's an all-inclusive term for tropical depressions, tropical storms, and typhoons and super typhoons. And of course, they're separated by the maximum sustained surface winds. And so go visit our webpage or our Facebook page at NWS Guam or U.S. National Weather Service Guam and learn all about tropical cyclones. I'll be posting information throughout the month of June in support of Typhoon Preparedness Month.
Wow. Well, that's great. I appreciate that. That's all great info that we got from you. You know, I had a couple questions for you. One of them, you go back to one, you got the model where you were talking about the swirling part and you could see the whole island chain. Pagan was in red. And I wonder what that was about. Not that one. This one. So if you look at the writing for all the island names, Pagan's the only one in red.
Let me clear
now
those.
It looks like there's more of them that are red that weren't red before.
Yeah, there's several of them. That's just my settings. And so on my display, I have the tropical cyclone warning points. So if there's a typhoon or tropical storm threat for any of those islands, I do have those labeled in red. And then all other islands and atolls across the region are labeled in blue. So some locations like Pagan, Alamagan, and Saipan, they'll have multiple labels. And so I'm going to flip my label around right quick. So magnification, I'm going to make that larger for the warning points, and then maximum density. So it'll show all the warning points. And so there's all of our warning points, including Guam, Tinian, and Rhoda.
Got it. All right. And the other one was, we noticed that there was something a little bit different today with the phrasing that you guys used for the rain, about like rain may be heavier. It was at some points. I think that was one of the things we noticed.
Correct. And that's with that upper level trough, that tut cell. And what that does, it provides, you think of it as like a vacuum. It's pulling the air from this lower levels of the atmosphere up into the higher atmosphere. So that provides lift. And so when you have one of these upper level features combined with a surface feature, you get the convergence at the surface, you get the clouds building, and then you get that lift, upward pull into the atmosphere. And that's where you get that upward motion, the shower development, the clouds, and the nice tall vertical stacked clouds like a cumulonimbus. That's where you get the heavier showers and the thunderstorm potential. So the showers we've had the last couple months have been very shallow, close to the surface, much like this little bit of cluster of stuff right there. Those are very shallow clouds, maybe about 15,000 feet up into the atmosphere. But where you get these clouds here, this is working upwards of 40, 50,000 feet up into the atmosphere. So you get much colder temperatures, you get more ice in the atmosphere, you get that frictional charge between updrafts, downdrafts, and that's where you get your lightning and your thunderstorms. And so when you have these big features like this tut cell, that provides those dynamics to give us those heavy showers. So what we've seen the last couple months, our showers are brief and they tend to be light and uh, I guess light in nature. But now with this extra dynamic, we're going to get the heavier showers. So they might still be brief, but they'll be very heavy and then move right on by. And so it's tricky. And that's why I'm saying the forecast for the next several days is going to be a very much a mix of sun, clouds, showers, and briefly heavy downpours at time. And if there's no movement of the showers, if it's just sitting overhead, then we could have some significant rainfall totals.
Wow. Well, that's good to know, and hopefully we can escape some of that heavier rain stuff today. I could definitely. I mean, I don't mind getting the free car wash. I'll take it.
Yes.
But for right now, so what are we? Oh, what is this? This is your drought stuff.
This is the latest drought assessment. And so this is where the rainfalls can be very useful. I mean, we don't want the flooding rains, but if we can get maybe a half inch of rain over the course of a day for the next several days, that would significantly improve our drought conditions, which conditions did improve for Tinian and Saipan, where we went from extreme drought for Tinian and Saipan a couple weeks ago to now severe drought. Looks like that trend's going to hold steady in any rainfall we get the next several days. And if we can get some of those brief downpours, that would provide some much needed relief, especially for the ranchers and the farmers out there across the islands. But we do have extreme drought for Rota and Guam, and I hope that's going to be mitigated with the showers over the next couple of days. A lot of the heavy showers have been offshore with some brief heavy showers over the island, but if we can get more of those heavy showers, that will provide some drought relief and also wildfire mitigation.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, that would be a big deal. I mean, it is definitely crispy out here. No question about it.
Yes. Crispy is a good word for the grass.
Yeah, that's it. And what a difference coming back from Western New York, where it was absolutely not crispy. It was crispy cold. It went from
refreshing.
Yeah, it was refreshing. The coldest, it was like 48, 50, 51, 52. And then when I finally hit in the 60s, I'm like, oh, it's so nice outside. I'm like, oh, I got acclimatized pretty quick. But
and now it hurts.
It was a little difficult to get used to when I first got back. At least for sleeping. I was sleeping with a space heater just to stay warm. And now it's like I got the air conditioning back on just because it's a little bit much while I try to figure things out.
Yeah, I was in Korea last week. Fortunately, after 2 months of processing and approvals from the U.S. government and up the chain within Weather Service and NOAA and Department of Commerce, I was able to attend the annual meeting of the Working Group on Disaster Risk Reduction within the Typhoon Committee. We have our annual meeting up in South Korea every May or June. And so we were up there in Seoul for the week with 11 of our member countries within the Typhoon Committee, talking about disaster risk reduction efforts within our agencies and our countries to do decision support services and how we're working to communicate weather and disaster threats and also working to mitigate those vulnerabilities. And so it was a fantastic week. The weather was superb. It was bone dry, but very comfortable. It was in the mid to upper 70s every day.
My goodness. I mean, getting up to the 70s, I did experience it in the 70s and it felt great. But I think if I would have got there when I first, and it was like that when I first arrived, I would have thought it was a little bit chilly. But it ended up being like, it was too hot. I was cutting the grass and I was wearing a hoodie. I'm like, I'm sweating out here. This is a little bit too much. And
it's so refreshing. I got off the plane the other day in Guam and it felt scalding hot, and so I was not quite ready for that. I want more of the higher latitude temperatures would be much more comfortable.
Hey, Louisa says, hey, any preparedness plan for banana typhoons?
As far as any preparedness plans, yeah, definitely take the basic precautions. And one of the things we were talking about last week is people tend to say, well, it's only a tropical disturbance. I'm not going to worry about it. And tropical disturbances can have significant impacts, but also so can tropical depressions and tropical storms. And you think back to October when I was up in Saipan, we had the Kong Ray taking shape over Guam. The worst conditions weren't on Guam. It was actually in Saipan and Tinian where we had those flash floods in October and some very strong winds and wind gusts. And that was, in quotation marks, only a developing tropical depression. So we have to take all of these things very seriously. Even a tropical storm just because it's not a typhoon doesn't mean it's going to be harmless. They can have profound impacts. And so for even the banana storms, and people have different definitions of banana storms, and it really depends on the village or the location of the island you're in. For example, we had Typhoon Mawar, and it made a beeline right over the far northern Guam. And I've heard people in southern Guam say, yeah, we survived a super typhoon. And that is not correct. Southern Guam did not survive a super typhoon. They had, at most, tropical storm force conditions of 39 to 73 mile per hour sustained winds and some higher gusts. And so you have to take into account how far you are from that center of the tropical storm or the typhoon, but then also the dynamics and the structure of that storm itself. And I tell our forecasters here, just because we have something in Guam, closest to Guam, does not mean Tinian and Saipan are off the hook, because sometimes those stronger conditions can be displaced well away from the center of a tropical cyclone. So basic precautions. Do you have a plan in place? Do you have non-perishable food supplies? Do you have a family action plan if you're at different places, and how to secure your home, secure your workplace? Ready.gov from FEMA, they have a great amount of resources. I think it's I'm gonna go to the webpage right here, actually. So I'm gonna turn my camera around, but FEMA has a great webpage, ready.gov/hurricanes, and then also the National Weather Service at noaa.gov/hurricane prep. Lots of great tips and resources. You can also visit the Guam Homeland Security Office of Civil Defense on Facebook page. Their web page is down at the moment, so go to their Facebook page. But then also the CNMI Homeland Security and Emergency Management State Warning Point. I think they'll be having some information throughout the month as well. But ready.gov and noaa.gov/hurricane prep has a lot of information about tropical cyclones and hurricane preparedness. So know what you can do at home, know what works, what doesn't work. If something didn't work well during U2 back in 2018, find out what that was and how it can be done better so that you and your family are prepared. And take precautions even for these small systems, whether it's a tropical depression or a tropical storm, because they can pack a punch. And then also the hazards. Tropical cyclones are not just focused on that eye wall and the strong winds, but it's also flash flooding rains, storm surge, coastal inundation, and mudslides. So we have a lot of things to talk about when it comes to tropical cyclones, and it's not just about the eye and the center of the circulation and the strongest winds.
Good to know. Keeping us up to date with everything. Caleb asks, hey, any earthquake activity? I saw you guys had a little shaker recently.
Yeah, we had that 5.9, I think. That was when I was in Korea. I did not fill it up in Korea, but my phone sure did. And so they were chirping and chiming constantly throughout the night after that struck. I'm not aware of any reports of any damage, but it definitely ruined a lot of people's good night of sleep. So it's been pretty quiet since then, but that was a pretty good shake as I understand it.
Yeah, I miss all the stuff too. I think I was traveling when that stuff happened. There was a ton of stuff that happened out here when I was on the road. And then that was one of them. So my goodness, there's so much. Tobot says,
It always happens.
Yeah, Tobot's like, hey, the Lincoln Log gangster, Landon A-Lit. I'm like, yes, that's great. And Joshua weighs in. He's like, my two favorite people, Landon and Brad. Oh, Josh. Have you got to meet Josh yet?
Is that Joshua B?
Yes, it is.
Yes, I have met him. I actually ran into him in Tinian a couple years ago when I was flying in and out. And so we've met up a couple times, and every time I try to meet up with him in Saipan, he's either at work or I'm in conference or something. And so we're going to try to tag up again, hopefully in August or early September, when I do plan to get back up into the CNMI.
All right. Well,
fingers are crossed, but it looks like that trip will be happening.
All right. Well, we'll try to get you in studio. I know you got a busy schedule and all that other stuff. And I know you're not just flying up for us. So we'll try to get you up here. If you can fit it in your schedule, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I will make it a priority. I'd like to touch base with all the media up there in the Saipan, just to show face and to inject weather information to the community. I know I was asked on the radio this morning about the FEMA assistant director, the current director of FEMA, stated he was not aware there was a hurricane season of the States. And I said, that regardless of his comments, whether it was a joke or for real, I said it's great for the Weather Service because it allows us to weigh in and to inject weather-related communications into the public arena. And so, hey, it works for us.
Gotta find the silver lining to every cloud, even if that cloud's part of a super typhoon. Awesome. Hey, really glad to have you on here. Look forward to, holy cow, if you're going to be up here in August, looking forward to that.
Yes. Once I get some dates lined up, I'm talking to Pompeii and the FSM. I'm going to try to get a trip down there. It looks like there might be potential for me to visit down there finally for the first time in 5 years on a weather-related agenda. So I'm going to try to stagger both of those trips and crank them out this year. I think it would be a lot of great collaboration opportunities for discussions.
Well, I love it. It actually sounds like a great idea for me to try to get out there too. I got to meet a bunch of folks from the FSM over the years, and I think it'd be a lot of fun to do the show from different points. Fly around Micronesia.
I highly recommend it. Showcase the islands.
Yes.
Show the region.
I love it. All right, Landon, thanks so much for being on. And before you go, any new updates, anything you got coming up for like Tower for Humanity or anything?
Tower for Humanity, that is still in queue. I'm taking a back step from that right now until I can get some major things off the agenda regarding that project coming up in June. And so I will be traveling and we'll be popping in on different places by the week with you late this month and early July. And once I get back from that trip, we're going to go full steam ahead with Be Heartfelt, the charity, and also the Tower for Humanity plans at the Guyana Shopping Center. So right now, everything is as planned as it can be. I've got a 15-page planning document with all the details. And then come late July and August, we're going to start fine-tuning all the plans and start locking in the dates for different events. The dates for construction are set. And so we're very excited, and I hope you'll be able to join us. I think the first few days of October, we're going to plan to have the tower done October 1st through 3rd. We're going to have it completed those days, and then we'll have the construction on October 4th and 5th. And so that would be the best time for you to come over there and see all the action.
I know I'm going to make it work. I'm going to make it happen. It's such a blast to be there. The big thing I'd like to do, too, is try to set up, now that we've been doing this for a little while, get some other interviews to come join us down there, too. So some of the folks who are supporting you guys, I know we got Lori last time, but some other folks in the community down in Guam. I know we also had the folks from the mall join us. So anybody who's out there, try to get them to join us. Maybe we'll try to get Troy Torres out of bed and join us too over there from Canada and hang out and have some breakfast and everything.
He'll be ready to play ball.
Hey, I know where he gets all his great coffee from and all that stuff. I need him to share some of that love and join us for that. I think it'd be awesome.
That would be great. And I can always go for some coffee.
Love it. All right, Landon, you're the man. Thanks so much.
See y'all later. See y'all next week.
All right, there he is. That's Landon Aylett from the National Weather Service in Guam. Always keeping us up to date with everything that's happening weather-wise and giving stuff back to the community. Just a great dude, and we're really thankful to have you on here every week. So, folks, we've got more on the way from the world of news here in the Marianas, not to mention our national update that we're going to have from the folks over at the Associated Press. But before we do that, we want to give you some messages from our sponsors, including Paradise Dental, the home of the Island Smiles Discount Dental Plan. How much are you paying for your dental plan? Well, I mean, go check your paycheck, because a lot of people don't even know. If it's more than $4, $5, or $6 per paycheck, then you're paying too much. You got to check out Paradise Dental. It's the home of the Island Smiles Discount Dental Plan, the only true discount dental plan in the Marianas. It's the most affordable. I mean, don't wait until you have a toothache. Really, go out there and check it out now so that you're prepared and ready to go. Whenever a toothache strikes, turn your into a from Paradise Dental. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Shauna from Island Skin Solutions. If you're looking for an alternative to waxing and shaving, we have a solution for you. Our laser hair removal offers long-lasting, safe, and effective results. This month, we're offering 15% off of our laser hair removal packages, which are already buy 3, get 1 free. If you're interested in laser hair removal, contact us to set up your consultation today.
Got Medicaid? Paradise Dental's got you covered. We've got you covered from the moment you walk in the door with some of Saipan's best smiles. Medicaid covers your fillings, your extractions, and your checkups with no out-of-pocket expense. And Medicaid covers all of your x-rays without any additional cost to you. So remember, if you've got Medicaid, you're covered. Don't wait for a toothache. Call Paradise Dental today. Come here often.
Hi, I'm Shauna Brenfleck, nurse practitioner and owner of Island Skin Solutions and Wellness Clinic. We are Saipan's only medical spa offering a wide range of services to meet your unique skincare goals. We offer exclusive medical grade skincare products that can only be purchased from a licensed medical professional. We also have the CNMI's only master esthetician who offers new patient consultations that include a mini facial tailored to your needs. Schedule your consultation today to get started on your skincare journey.
AP News, I'm Haya Panjwani. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, in a post on X, says the wife and 5 children of the man accused of throwing Molotov cocktails at demonstrators in Boulder are being taken into custody by federal immigration authorities.
Today, the Department of Homeland Security and ICE are taking the family of suspected Boulder, Colorado terrorist and illegal alien Mohammed Solomon into ICE custody. Now, Mohammed's despicable actions will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. But we're also investigating to what extent his family knew about this horrific attack, if they had any knowledge of it, or if they provided support to it.
There's been closing arguments in Harvey Weinstein's retrial on sex assault and rape charges. AP's Julie Walker.
Up first, the defense in Harvey Weinstein's New York rape and sex assault trial, giving closing arguments. The disgraced movie mogul's lawyer, Arthur Aidala, portraying his client as a self-made man and his accusers as troubled and canny women with broken dreams who used Weinstein to try and make their Hollywood ambitions come true. Aidala telling jurors Weinstein is the original poster boy for the Me Too movement and the prosecution was out to get him again after his first conviction was overturned. The prosecution says Weinstein is guilty of rape and sex assault and had 3 women give days of testimony about their experience. His lawyers say anything that took place was consensual. At criminal court in Manhattan, I'm Julie Walker.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the U.S. Trade Representative has notified American trading partners, telling them tomorrow is President Trump's deadline for making best offers on trade.
USTR sent this letter to all of our trading partners just to give them a friendly reminder that the deadline is coming up. And they are in talks. Ambassador Greer, Secretary Besson, Secretary Lutnick are in talks with many of our key trading partners around the globe.
This is AP News. The Liberal Party candidate is sorting out to be the winner of South Korea's presidential election.
Kim Moon-soo with the conservative People Power Party has conceded defeat in the presidential election to Liberal opposition candidate Lee Jae-myung. Lee's supporters with the Democratic Party cheered as exit poll results were read. His election caps months of political drama and protests triggered by the declaration of martial law by the now ousted conservative leader Yoon Suk-yeol. High voter turnout suggested a public eagerness to move past the political turmoil. Because of the early election, Lee will be sworn in as president on Wednesday for a single full term of 5 years without the typical 2-month transition period. It's not clear whether the shift will lead to changes in South Korea's foreign policy. During the campaign, Lee has repeatedly stressed South Korea's alliance with the U.S., while critics have accused him of tilting towards China and North Korea. I'm Jennifer King.
I'm Haya Panjwani, AP News.
PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions,
And we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Lucas, what are you doing? You can't drink beer. It's 10 a.m.
Relax, Brett. It's day beer. Day beer's the beer that's specifically brewed to enjoy during the day. All day. Every day.
What's in it?
Day beer has all the rich and tasty ingredients you'd expect to find in a regular beer. The only difference is you can drink it as soon as you wake up.
Did you go to your job interview today?
Day beer is great for any occasion, like weekend barbecues, Black History Month, baseball season, or those days you're just not over your brother's death.
Oh no, I'm gonna be late for work.
Leave the rat race for the rats and enjoy day beer. Day beer. Finally, a reason to wake up.
Alrighty, welcome back, Marianas. It is 8:32 a.m. here on Hump Day. It is Wednesday, June 4th. That means we are midway through the week, and man, it is flying right by. Can you believe it's June already? Man, my goodness, I know who does. The folks over there in Aslito. Shout out to the folks at the Nutrition Assistance Plan office. That's right. Those guys, this is their busiest week of the month for sure. I know they're busy the whole time, but this is when it gets really big. 85 degrees out here in Saipan. That humidity continues to drop a little bit, down to 77% right now. We're looking at more scattered showers throughout the day. Could be heavy at times after hearing about the Tufts from Landon. Looking at partly sunny skies with a high near 88. And the winds going to be around 11 miles per hour today. Not too bad. 30% chance of rain. Which, you know what that means? It's going to be rain. Juan says, put beer in your coffee cup. Makes it a day beer. That's right. Yeah, and tell about that day beer commercial, man. I saw that yesterday, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna make it on the show for sure. Day beer. What makes day beer different than regular beer? Just the fact that you're drinking it during the day. It is definitely, it's not recommended. But hey, we got some info. You know, we were talking a little bit about Jimbo Rayfan earlier, and he posted some stuff up to us, and we can get some info out to you guys. Do you have any aspirations for being a track and field superstar like Jimbo Rayfan? You can. It's possible, but you got to work for it. Take a look at this. The NMI Masters are on tap June 12th and 13th at the Oleai Sports Complex, 5 to 7 p.m., so it's a great little afternoon session. What events are coming up? You got to be 30 years old and older. That's the only way that you can get involved. And it's going to be the 60-meter sprints. Actually, is it a sprint? When you get to be as old as we are, doesn't that become a distance race? The jury's out on that one. But I'm going to say that. They got the long jump, the javelin throw, and the 1,500 meters. So that's a mile. So how long is it going to take you to run a mile? For me, it's going to take a while. That 60-meter sprint, though, I don't know. I feel like I can do it. I think I can make that work. We'll find out. But anyway, it's free to join. You can get out there, and who knows? I mean, it's a great opportunity. If you don't do it, and you can do it, well, I think that's a mistake. You need to get out there and try that. We're going to put this out there and post it today. I'm glad that you sent that to us, my man. Let's go ahead and put this under our community file because this is a really cool opportunity for everybody. You know, the other stuff that I love is that he sent some info about how he did for the other events that he was in. Where is it? Is there a date in here? Where are you at? Jimbo Ray fan, crushing it, taking the bronze in the discus, falling. Who beat you? Some guy named John Schatz. You beat him in the name category. And Dan Joab. They beat you. But again, you beat a guy named John Schatz beat you. He needs a win. With that name, you need a win. And so we got to give it to him. It was a good throw, though, John. Jimbo, though, coming up third, but looking strong. Right behind him, Greg Borja. And right after him is Kusuke Sato. Really cool. And that's in the 50 and up category. These guys, I would be the young gun coming into that category. I'm looking at these guys, 51, 51, 51, and two guys who are 53. I would be in there. The young upstart from Capitol Hill at 50 years old jumping in there. And I mean, let's look at this. I like it. I like this idea because this is what we're looking at here. By the way, these are the results that Jimbo sent about the stuff. So you got to see, like, Jimbo in third place, Greg just behind him. At 50, I mean, I'd be in there. They're going to be like, oh, look at this, like, hot shot coming in. 50 years old. Who's he think he is? I'm looking forward to it. I got to try this. So this is going to be on June 12th and 13th, the senior versions of all these contests. And what's the other one that you sent? It was, is this the sprint? Where you at? Oh, I think this is it, but it's a screenshot. You can't see all of it. And where are we at? Oh, there we go. I can see holy cow. Is that Borja? 60-meter sprint, 8.54. And then there's an age grading, too. And Jimbo, what did you do? You knocked out 11.6, which is pretty good. Up there at 53. There's a couple of dudes from Australia who did it. Was it like a virtual meet? Someone from Vanuatu, Cook Islands. I don't know what PYF is. I see New Zealand. It's got to be like a virtual thing. Is that right? I think that's what I'm looking at. Anyway, even Robin was a 9.3. I feel like I could probably pull a hamstring just looking and thinking about it. I love it. It says, Luisa says, you drink at 10 a.m. if you want to, Lucas. I love it. Yeah, anybody can do it. Anybody can drink day beers. True story. Absolutely true story. All right, well, let's get back to it and start looking at some of the other stuff. But anyway, so NMI Masters track and field events going on, 60-meter sprint, the long jump, and the javelin, and the 1,500. Man, my 1,500, dude, I don't even want to know how bad it's going to be. It's going to be painful. Like, it's going to be painful to see what my time is, even though I know I'll be trying hard. And to know that that's going to be the thing. Oh, gosh. Maybe I get some of our veterans out there to get in there. Yeah, virtual. Okay, so good. So we know, I know that we couldn't have had all these people fly in here, right? So it seems like virtual is about right. But man, now I feel a little determined about this sprint. And then, geez, I mean, the sprint's got to be the big thing for me. That's it. It's only 60 meters. We do a lot of sprints in soccer, right? And once you get that inertia going, I mean, you're gold. Do you have to bring your own starting blocks? Because I saw that in the games a couple of years ago. I saw guys, only a couple of folks had starting blocks. And did they bring their own, or is that something that will be there? I don't know if it's going to help me. No. Just curious. Just want to. Tobot says, I'll pull a Manteca if I run. Yes. I'm probably part of that same club, dude. Because you know you're going to go all out right there. You got to try and stretch out before you get there. Just so you don't pull it, whatever it is, before you get going. That's the important part for me. Not to pull that muscle or that Manteca before you get going. That's the main thing. All right. You want to get to it? Yeah, because I think we already did it. We already ran the headlines and everything. We're about 20 minutes away from the next update from the Associated Press. And then we're going to get out of here. Tomorrow is going to be a fun day. We should have some folks in who are giving us a presentation here in the Marianas. But we're going to have them in studio. But today, as a reminder, the Saipan Chamber of Commerce is going to have their folks in. Where's my main here? Because I think I had that on here the other day. And I should still have it. Right? There we go. This is what's going on. Saipan Chamber of Commerce going to have folks in today as well. It is the general membership meeting that's taking place. And it's going to be at Pacific Islands Club today at 11:30 to 1 o'clock. And at Charlie's Cabaret, the food's going to be great because it's the PIC. And while you're there, you can have one of those day beers we heard so much about. Not too bad, right? Day beers. But that's got to be what's up. So we're going to hear more about this whole virtual currency thing and everything from these folks here in the Tinian stablecoin. Holy goodness gracious, we have a phone call coming in. We got to take this call. Can you believe it? We have the man, we have the myth, and we have the legend of Piling Gizetmo on the phone right now. Piling, I feel like it's been forever. How are you?
Hey, good morning. Good morning from way out here. I know that the world feeling kind of disgusted, and I'm unwelcome feeling with the United Airlines issue, with the amount of that we need to spend to fly to Guam or to Guam to Saipan. I know the feeling of it. but anyway, hey, I'm calling in, no disrespect, no hard feelings to anyone, but looks like we're moving forward in our cinema. Good things are moving forward. Same with DPL, as we all heard the comments from our newly selected or to be appointed DPL director, Victor Igosomor. I'm happy that he's bringing about changes in that department too, with the homestead policy. Like if they give you a homestead, as long as you're taking care of it, you're not gonna reprocess it and take it away from you. It sounds good. It sounds good, and we're moving forward. And no hard feelings, no offense. But with CCC out of the way, it's as much as we want people to earn money, but if there's no casino, then it's about time, I think the governor did the right thing, shutting that office down. But we're moving forward. We're moving forward, and we're all feeling it, that it's a good feeling. And let's keep on moving forward. It's for the sake of our future children. That's what I want to share today, Brad. And I extend to everyone in our cinema in the Marianas to have a wonderful feeling today, tomorrow, tonight, and through the weekend.
Well,
Be feeling good, Everybody should feeling good. It has to be feeling good. Because if you're not feeling good, something is not right.
Hey, I'll tell you what, you're right. You're absolutely right. And it is great. It's a good feeling and things are definitely happening. Things are moving in the right direction. It seems like, especially with that casino commission, the Gov was saying, hey, they haven't been doing anything with it. I mean, there's actually no casino. So, what do we need the commission for? And they can put it back to the lottery commission. And that's what's going on. The only thing is now they got to set up and figure out how they're going to deal with what's left and closing that office down for the commission.
Yeah, our governor is doing it right. And it's sad to say that our legislators, our congressman, congresswoman, and our senators, maybe not including Senator Selena Babauta, but at least our governor saw the picture, saw the vision, and he wants to make it right. So I congratulate him. More power to him. He did the right thing. It's a office that is not functioning for anything. There's no casino. So let's just move forward. Let's love one another and make Marianas great again, like President Donald Trump said, making it great. Let's make it great.
I love it.
I love you all.
Hey, we love you, man.
I don't know where is the bottom of my heart, but from there, I love you all. I promise you, and I will never break that promise. Peel me, and I'll peel you.
Oh, man.
Enjoy your day, Brother Brad. Enjoy your day. Everybody else, I love you all. Enjoy your day, and let's move forward. Let's love one another. It's no matter diva what, diva that, diva this. We should love one another. It's the only way to move forward is love. Through love. Through love, we can move forward. We cannot move through hate. There's no way anybody will move with hate. But with love, woo-hoo. Imagine.
Ungan.
Yeah, imagine moving forward through love. Through love. Let's love one another.
Feeling when you run for office, that's got to be your slogan when you're a candidate. Moving forward through love.
True love. True love. If we're doing it for the sake of love, we're gonna move forward. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
I love it.
And that's it. I wanna close it with I love you, Brother Bear, and I love you, Sinamai. Adios and thank you.
Adios. Thank you so much for calling. I love it. Tobat says, Piling Gazetmo for Barragata Mayor. Oh, we lost him on that one. But anyway, there you go. It looks like you got your campaign manager. And there's, I love it. Chris out there in Tacoma says, Ungunaid Zaprim. That's right. That is right. One heart. One love. Oh, man. What else do we got going on? We got a couple other things that we could do before we knock out the rest of the old program here. And because I'm pretty stoked about everything that's going on. And it is great that we had folks coming in. Tomorrow's going to be a big day. Again, we're going to have, hold on, let me scroll down over here. Oh, where are you at, my man? Remaliza Oriondo Chris, she's going to be on with us tomorrow. She's going to be doing the Serve Safe certification training next week, Monday. She'll be on the show to tell us all about what's going on, and looking forward to that as well. I want to say shout out to all our veterans who are watching this morning. Great to see you guys. I wish I could have been there for Memorial Day. And to celebrate our fallen with you guys. But I look forward to building up to what we're going to be doing for Liberation Day and everything between now and then. Should be a lot of fun. I can actually switch the old screen here for a second. One sec. There we go. All right. What else do we want to talk about? We'll just knock out just a couple of the other headlines. We did talk about that. Did you see yesterday that story that was out there about some folks who were arrested for stealing cases of luncheon meat? Not even Spam. It was like that discount black label stuff. I mean, I would still eat it. 18 cases. 18 cases. That's Oba. What are you going to do with 18 cases? I know you're going to eat it because I would eat it. But that's a lot to lift. I mean, that's a lot of stuff. I mean, and my favorite part about that story yesterday was that the one guy's defense was like, well, I only went in there to get it because the other guy wouldn't give me one of his. I don't condone it. But he's like, he said, Enriquez, for his part, told investigators that he entered the store the same way Martin did after Martin refused to give him a case of Spam. So he went in there and he's like, hey, I only took 2. I only took 2. That's not as bad as the other guy who took 16. So good story. I don't know if that's going to count for a smaller sentence, but I give you points for it. You definitely get points for being nice. Man, oh, geez. How about in this category over here? One second. No, that's not so much for us here. Not so much there. Oh, gosh. Of course, another one. Hey, we posted this. By the way, I got to change the music on this one because it's actually, it's really, let's see. How does this one sound? Let's see. Oh, gosh, that's way too slow. I can't do that. How about this one? No, that's too happy. Nah. Anyway, I'll figure something out. But the main thing is, there's a story that we posted yesterday. And wait, let me just see. What's this? It's something. It's something in the background. I'll just let it go. But we posted something on the old Facebooks yesterday, and it was about the press release that we got from the Hotel Association of the Northern Mariana Islands. You know them as Hand Me, right? So anyway, Hand Me was less excited than this music to talk about what the occupancy rates are for our local hotels because they have sunk to a new low, and it's pretty awful when you look at it. I mean, it's they're down to like 24% for the month of April, like 23.5%. Hold on, sorry, that music's on there. 23.5%. So we just round up to that. But it is really awful that it's that low. I mean, that's. Let me get the full-on press release for you guys. We'll read that off for you. And let's throw it up there on the screen so you can see it as well. But guys, that's like critical levels, and I'm going to tell you more about it here as we get into it. Hold on one second. Let me open that up. Move that up a little bit. Boy, this is way too funky. I'm not a big fan of this music. It is way too cheery for this stuff. Sorry. Let me find something. How about this? Yeah, well, it'll do. It's something in the background. All right, so let's talk about this, guys. This is the press release that we got from the Hotel Association of the Northern Mariana Islands. By the way, it looks like an 8-bit logo from Nintendo from circa 1989. Anyway, let's not dwell on that. But Hand Me occupancy, 24%. And it's here. We'll read the whole schmear here. So, Hotel Association of the Northern Mariana Islands reported 23.5% average occupancy among 11 member hotels for April, which is 32% lower than the 34.68% from last year. A total of 14,859 out of the 63,070 available hotel room nights that were sold. And that is just dire. And that's compared to last year. That's like almost 11,000 less. Well, 10,300 less than last year. And there were also more hotel rooms available last year because there were more open hotel rooms. True story. So the average room rate was 109 compared to 122 from last year. And you would think it might go up a little bit. Anyway, April figures exclude the former numbers from the 315 room Hyatt Regency that they reported. So that's one of the reasons why there were so many more rooms. But even a year ago, it's not like the Hyatt was doing good, right? So at that point. This is a comment from the HAMI chairman, Dennis Sale. So it says, this precipitous drop in visitor arrivals is due to the loss over the last year of several flights, Asiana Airlines last July, and now one of the 2 daily flights from Jeju Air, and the temporary suspension of daily flights by T-Way, all impacting our top source market of Korea. And without the EVS TAP program, which has not been processed by U.S. Customs and Border Protection, actually Department of Homeland Security, since April, we have lost our twice weekly flight from Hong Kong, a temporary suspension that we hear could quickly become permanent if EVS TAP is not reinstated in the next couple of weeks. True story, guys. I know all about this, and it's brutal. So the chairman says that the economic situation is dire after 5 years of low visitor arrivals and hotel occupancy since the pandemic. He continues that the economy of the Commonwealth is reaching critical mass, and we've experienced with recent mass layoffs and business closures. However, HAMI member hotels will continue to work collaboratively with the MVA and other partners to offer our best possible support to stabilize existing flights with current carriers and negotiate commitments for additional flights in the winter season or earlier if possible. What we really need is a significant investment of funding and full local and federal support to lift the Marianas out of this situation. It says hotels include, for HAMI, hotels include Aqua Resort Club, Aquarius Beach Tower, Century Hotel, Coral Ocean Resort, Grand Rio Resort, Saipan, Crown Plaza Resort, Saipan, Kensington Hotel, Saipan, Lau Lau Bay Golf and Resort, Pacific Islands Club, Saipan World Resort, and the Surf Rider Resort Hotel. And HAMI was established in 1985. There you go. So now, interesting about all that is that you're hearing right there that the average hotel occupancy rate for the CNMI is 23.5%. I mean, it's really 23.5%, 23.56. We rounded up to 24 to make it sound even better. But it's 23.56%. You know, if you're running a hotel, you, just to break even, need to have about a 60% rate. If you want to have a little bit of a profit, just a sliver, to pay for everything, you need to be about 70. True story. How long do you think we're going to be able to keep this up? Don't know. At 23.5%, 0.56%. I mean, how do these guys stay open? You couldn't do that with your house. Imagine that. You're like people. How can people continue to survive with these numbers? And you know, like it's a tough one too, because I don't know how long they can stay open. And who's next? You know, we hear the rumors, World Resort going to be closing. We hear the rumors, Grand Rio, but Grand Rio, I don't even know how they stay open because it doesn't even seem like there's anybody there. So imagine those go away. The only good thing about that is that the few people who are going there would end up going to other places. But World Resort's pretty massive. They got the coolest water park. Sorry, PIC. But they do. They got a really cool water park. So both of them are cool. So it's one of our 2 water parks. Imagine the only silver lining that you could find out of this is that if you had less hotels, that our occupancy rate would be forced to go up because there'd be less rooms for people to choose from. But those are other properties who are actively marketing to try to get people to come to their hotels. That means that's less marketing for the Marianas abroad. How do you think they could do that? Guys, it doesn't seem sustainable at all. So the question is, what is next? And if you're looking for tourism to come from Guam, forget it. It's not coming when they're charging us over $700 per flight. You know, thanks, United. That's why we really need that help, that cabotage exemption. If they can give us the Jones Act exemption under our covenant, they could do that with cabotage. Totally possible. It's just not there. And that essential air service, if it survives the cuts from the Trump administration, then we got to get involved in that. We have to be included in that. I know Khalili tried. But now that we've been knocking on those doors and talking to representatives there, and they're hearing us, hopefully we'll get some traction on that. Gloria, great to see you this morning. She says, if we aren't flying because of the ridiculously high airfare, how and why would tourists fly to fill the hotels? Absolutely. You know, we got to ask ourselves, how long is it going to take before we decide we need our own airline? I know Tan Holdings tried it, and it didn't work out. And it was a big blow to them because they got screwed in their deal. They really did. But why are we at the whim of these guys? Because it costs money. I get it. We are suffering because of a lot of reasons, but that airlift, that's all United. Hawaiian Airlines is helping to keep the rest of the airlines affordable over there in Hawaii. We end up having one of these for us. We can be in good shape. Something for, we have like an inter-island airfare. I think that's going to be a big deal. Like a bigger plane. It's no knock on who we got now. Not at all. But it's just like, how long before we have a big-ass airplane to move people back and forth between the islands at an affordable rate that tells United that essentially, like from that movie, I'm mad as hell and I'm not taking it anymore. Really? How long is it going to be before the abbreviation for United goes from UA on our little forms to FUA? I'm ready to make that change. If I'm working at the Commonwealth Ports Authority or our customs, I'm going to change that on our customs form. Just add one letter and make a lot of people happier. None of those people are going to be at United, but hey, if they don't know how we feel about them already, that'll be a pretty good message. All right, bring back the DC-10. Oh my God, DC-10 is friggin' gigantic. That tri-jet wide body. We don't need that to get back and forth to Guam. I'd be happy with just another one of these jets that we got right here, right now. But for sure, former Congressman Probst threw the gauntlet down in that video that we showed you yesterday. And it's about time. They're making record-breaking profits in United. They can't complain that they're losing money over here. They can't. So, United, stop being dicks. Take care of us. Okay? That's it. Tobot says, we'll fix it. Duct tape and Gorilla Glue will work. Well, maybe. All right, guys. Well, it's 9 o'clock. I'll tell you what I'll do. I will send you guys the latest update from the Associated Press because it's ready. Get you guys the latest headline before we get you out of here, and we'll do it that way. So without further ado, let's get you guys going. Here's the latest from the United States and all over the world.
AP News, I'm Haya Panjwani. Elon Musk is blasting the tax cuts and spending plans backed by President Trump that passed the House. AP correspondent Ed Donahue has more.
The billionaire who recently left the Trump administration wrote on his social media site X, "This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it." Not a surprise to White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
The president already knows where Elon Musk stood on this bill. It doesn't change the president's opinion. This is one big, beautiful bill, and he's sticking to it.
Minority Leader Chuck Schumer read what Musk wrote and said, "He's right." Majority Leader John Thune doesn't think Elon Musk will tank the bill.
We have a difference of opinion. He's entitled to that opinion. we're going to proceed full speed ahead.
The Senate has a slim 53-seat GOP majority. Ed Donahue, Washington.
There's a new video of the fiery attack in Boulder that injured at least 12 people. AP's Lisa Dwyer.
In a newly obtained video, a man accused of throwing Molotov cocktails at demonstrators in Boulder, Colorado, can be heard yelling with others. One woman laments that she does not have her gun.
I wish I had my gun with me. I'd do it.
Police wrote that Mohammed Sabri Solomon did not carry out his full plan because he got scared and never hurt anyone before.
Everybody get back! Get back! Don't be slow enough, get back!
Authorities also say that Solomon expressed no regrets about the attack. At the end of the video, Solomon can be heard yelling, Solomon is being held on a $10 million bond. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says Solomon's wife and 5 children are also being taken into custody. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
The New York Knicks fired coach Tom Thibodeau just days after their first trip to the Eastern Conference Finals in 25 years. This is AP News. Meta is turning to nuclear energy to power its artificial intelligence. AP correspondent Donna Warder.
Meta has become the latest big tech company to turn to nuclear power to help meet the surging demand for artificial intelligence. Meta has secured a deal with Constellation Energy, expanding the output of the energy company's Illinois nuclear plant. Constellation's Clinton Clean Energy Center had been slated to close in 2017 after years of financial losses, but was saved by legislation in Illinois, establishing a zero-emission credit program to support the plant into 2027. The Meta Constellation deal takes effect in June 2027 when Illinois' credit program expires. The companies say the deal will preserve 1,100 local jobs and bring $13.5 million in annual tax revenue. Donna Warder, Washington.
I'm Haya Panjwani, AP News.
PHI is your local pharmacy serving customers in Cagman, Garapan, and Dandan since 1996. Shop PHI Pharmacy for all your prescriptions, and we even offer a large line of multivitamin supplements. Our Dandan location is open weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 4 on weekends. Or visit our Garapan and Cagman locations weekdays from 8 to 6 and 8 to 1 on Saturdays. Check us out online at phipharmacy.com or follow us on Facebook. PHI is a locally owned independent community Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care. All right, folks. It is Wednesday, 9:07 in the morning. Good morning, Marianas. We're here in Saipan, and boy, we knocked out a whole bunch of different topics today. But today, now we're going to knock out one more that we talked about earlier. This is something that we got sent from the folks from the Department of Justice. Said, hey, there is an FBI podcast. It's true. So we've got it. It's called Inside the FBI Podcast. And the episode that they had this past week was about the search for the Luke sisters. If you remember, back in 2011, Milena and Philoma Luke went missing. And a lot of us were out there in the boonies looking all over to see if we couldn't find out what happened to these two girls. Well, we have this episode from the Inside the FBI podcast that talks about that. So we're going to put this on for you guys so you can listen to it. They just posted this. It features a retired special agent who used to be stationed here in Saipan. You probably got to know him, Hey June Park, and one of our current special agents, Rick Bauer. So here we go, folks. This is the Inside the FBI podcast about the Luke sisters.
May 25th has been a poignant day for the FBI and our law enforcement and community partners since 1983, when President Ronald Reagan proclaimed it National Missing Children's Day. But that date carries a different kind of gravity on the island of Saipan in the Southwest Pacific Ocean, where 2 young girls, a pair of sisters named Philoma and Milena Luke, vanished while waiting to board their school bus on May 25th, 2011. Their disappearance rocked their local community. Abductions are uncommon in Saipan, and the island's entire population is on par with that of a small city. As we approach the 14th anniversary of the sisters' disappearance, the FBI's Honolulu field office is urging the public to come forward with any information they might have about the Luke sisters' whereabouts. On this episode of our podcast, we'll discuss Milena and Philoma's disappearance and why the FBI is still determined to find them. Most importantly, we'll explain how you can help us solve this case and bring closure to their family and their community. I'm Jennifer Leoprahori, and this is Inside the FBI. On May 25th, 2011, at approximately 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands Department of Public Safety received a call that two young sisters, 9-year-old Milena Luke and 10-year-old Philoma Luke, never reported to school or returned home that day. The girls were last seen at a school bus stop.
They were two girls of Chamorro descent and daughters of Jermaine Kittigwa, who is from the Kittigwa family. They were children of the community, meaning we probably saw them at some point or another being a small island, and when they went missing, everybody kind of knew who they were.
That's Hejun Park, a retired FBI special agent who led the Bureau's investigation into the girls' disappearance for more than a decade.
After speaking with family and law enforcement, FBI was invited to assist in the investigation.
Saipan is part of the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, also known as the CNMI, an island chain located thousands of miles from the west coast of the continental United States. Because the CNMI is a U.S. territory, the FBI has jurisdiction to investigate federal crimes committed there. Our Honolulu field office has a satellite office, known as a resident agency, on Saipan.
FBI spoke to numerous witnesses on that day, and we learned that Philoma and Milena never made it to school. From there, we started an exhaustive search over the next few weeks, continued for the next 14 years. Saipan, an island of approximately 50,000 residents, these two little girls, Philoma and Milena, were like family. Everybody knew each other in the island, so when this tragic event happened, it not only was an investigative case, but it was a personal case because it also, like I said, it affected many, many families all throughout the island. So on May 25th, 2011, when the reported matter first came to our attention, every law enforcement agency and entity in the CNMI came together for one cause.
This alliance of law enforcement and government agencies included the U.S. Marshals Service, the Drug Enforcement Administration, the Department of Homeland Security, and Commonwealth partners, including the CNMI Customs and Quarantine, the CNMI Department of Public Safety, the CNMI Department of Corrections, and the Commonwealth Ports Authority. According to Park, community members also played a major role in the early part of the investigation.
In the beginning stages, we had numerous volunteers to help comb through the jungles, the dense, thick jungles, on foot to help us cover more land. We had law enforcement officers and government agencies flying to Saipan to support us, but it took people on the ground to help us look further into the jungle where they knew the land, they knew the woods, they knew the back jungle, back beaches.
To date, the FBI has interviewed numerous witnesses and searched the island of Saipan and the surrounding waters. And because Saipan is only reachable by air or sea, the Bureau has also conducted aircraft and seafaring vessel inquiries. But despite those efforts, Park said,
there is no conclusion to where these girls might have ended up. Our hopes, we find these girls alive somewhere.
Philoma and Milena's disappearance has had a profound impact on their family.
Imagine your loved one, your child, has gone missing. And there's no sense of whereabouts. You're not sure if they're alive. You're not sure if they're being fed. There's a lot of unanswered questions.
The incident has also jolted their local community and compromised their sense of safety.
When we spoke to the school staff, they were utterly shocked. They were sad, hurt, and angry. They described these two little girls as wonderful, pleasant, always smiling. They were always smiling and happy girls. And to be snatched away on their way to school carrying their backpacks, it's unheard of. It left a big hole in a lot of people's hearts, left a lot of questions unanswered, left fear, left hurt, and anger. People want to find out what happened to these girls. They want to bring these girls back.
Special Agent Rick Bauer, who's currently leading this investigation for FBI Honolulu, adds,
Saipan is known to be a very safe community. It's where kids can walk to the baseball field or the soccer pitch barefoot with their friends, and parents don't worry about that. They can run the beaches and no one's looking over their shoulder or very concerned. And it's a very loving community. And that is why it was so detrimental when this occurred, because that safety was snatched from the community. When Milena and Paloma were taken, that stopped. And that's just another reason to drive us and the law enforcement and the community to get answers.
The FBI is offering a reward of up to $25,000 for information that leads to the whereabouts of Milena and Paloma Luke. If you know anything about what may have happened to the girls or where they might be located, we encourage you to contact the FBI by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI or 1-800-225-5324 or by visiting tips.fbi.gov. You can share information with us anonymously, and no tip is too small to potentially make a difference.
We believe there are people out there that know something. No matter how big or how little it may be, it could be something that law enforcement can use in solving this mystery.
And, Park explained, the breakthrough clue in this case might even be found across an ocean. This is because in the 1970s and 1980s, a large number of Micronesians migrated to the continental United States, primarily to the Pacific Northwest.
And then they branched out to several other locations, Boise, Idaho, parts of Texas. So there's always been a strong community.
These strong community bonds inspire members of this diaspora to regularly travel back to Saipan for annual events. Likewise, Saipan residents frequently travel to the continental United States to visit friends and loved ones who've relocated there.
So there's always a well-connected Micronesian coconut wire, as we call it, because everybody tells everybody knows little stories here and there, so news travels fast. We want to reach out to those Micronesians that might have been here during that time or heard something. We want to see if they want to come forward, help us, help the family, bring closure, or give us some evidence that we can use.
We also encourage anyone who may have spoken with law enforcement about the case in the past, but who has new information about Milena and Paloma's disappearance or whereabouts to reach out to us. At the time of their disappearance, 9-year-old Milena stood about 4 feet tall, weighed about 65 pounds, and had a birthmark on her left cheek. She has brown hair and brown eyes, and was last seen wearing a white blouse and blue jeans. Her birthday is February 13th. 10-year-old Paloma stood about 5 feet, 1 inch tall, and weighed about 90 pounds. Like her little sister, she has brown hair and brown eyes. She was last seen wearing a light green shirt with a butterfly design and blue jeans. Her birthday is February 9th. For more information, including pictures of the girls, visit fbi.gov/missing. This has been another production of Inside the FBI. You can follow us on your favorite podcast player, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. You can also listen to our show via the My FBI Dashboard app. Visit fbi.gov/dashboard app to learn more. And you can subscribe to email alerts about new episodes at fbi.gov/podcasts. I'm Jennifer Leoprahori from the FBI's Office of Public Affairs. Thanks for listening.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, that's, you listen to it and to remember it and to go back in time to like when that happened and remember what the island was like when everybody was out there looking for them. And it was just, it definitely was a game changer. It's like, how the hell did this happen here? How did that happen here in the Marianas? And how is this something that's been unsolved? This isn't some random city in the mainland or some random town in the mainland. Not like it's good that it happens there or acceptable, but holy crap, like this happened here in Saipan. And you can, I mean, it's 14 years ago. It just, 14 years ago, these kids, that happened to them then. And my goodness, it's one of the reasons I don't let my kids do anything on their own. You know, and they're getting older, right? You figure your kids can fight for themselves. Like, no, they can't. Have you? Is that movie Black Box or the Black Phone or something like that? Have you seen that? I saw that. It was terrifying. Like, I never considered how awful people are. I mean, I knew people are awful, but like the tactics that they could use. Let me see if that's the right. Or was it Black Box or Black Phone? No, that's not it. It's a Black Phone, I think, something like that. Yeah, the Black Phone. Holy crap. The opening scene from that, the horrible abduction in that movie. I'll tell you what, if that doesn't make you hold on to your kids a little bit more. But for this one, again, so Tom Simon, let me see if I can't find it. So this guy, Tom Simon, you heard the lady who just did the podcast, and she's their public relations. Well, they used to have a public affairs person out of Hawaii called Tom Simon, and he now does this online deal where he referenced them before. And what was interesting is that it really sounded like he talked that they knew who did it and they knew how it happened. So Tom Simon, one second. Tom Simon Investigations. And so I don't know it'll be easy to find it right there. But he did an episode on it also. And let's see if I can't find it. But I know at least in one episode, he referenced it when he was talking about something else, about how they knew who did it. And it frustrated them so much because they couldn't do it and they couldn't get them. And I don't remember why exactly, but he did say that. Now, we reached out to talk to him about it. He's like, hey, it's an ongoing investigation. I can't talk about it, even though he's out of it now, right? So he referred us over to the folks over at the FBI. And it was a surprise. I mean, I thought maybe he'd be able to talk about it now, but no. So let's see if I can't find him real quick. I'm going to do Tom Simon. If I could spell it right, it would help. Let's see if I do it this way. Maybe at least we'll find out his episode in particular. Just to see if it takes... Oh, here it is. This is his... Hold on.
One of them is the case of the missing Luke sisters of Saipan. Saipan is a U.S. territory in the Pacific, and in May 2011, two little girls, Milena and Philoma Luke, disappeared while waiting for the school bus in the morning. They were both wearing Dora the Explorer backpacks. The disappearance led to an island-wide search and investigation conducted by the police and the FBI. I was one of 30 agents who flew there to conduct the investigation for the month after the girls went missing. We searched through the jungle and the garbage dump and conducted upwards of 1,000 interviews to try to find those little girls. The problem is that there were no eyewitnesses to their abduction and zero physical evidence in the case. And here we are over a decade later, and we never found the girls, and no one has been charged with their abduction. But the real frustrating part is that we know exactly who was responsible. There is 100% certainty about who did it. But without finding these girls, alive or dead, there was no way we can make a case stick against this maniac based on the circumstantial evidence we have. And because we have a system where the burden of proof is on the government, as it should be, this guy remains free, and the case remains open, and the family of these little girls will never get closure. So yeah, not every case I touched was a winner. Thanks for watching, and be cool.
No, we're going to listen to that again.
When I look back at my career with the FBI, there are a few cases that still haunt me. One of them is the case of the missing Luke sisters of Saipan. Saipan is a U.S. territory in the Pacific, and in May 2011, two little girls, Milena and Philoma Luke, disappeared while waiting for the school bus in the morning. They were both wearing Dora the Explorer backpacks. The disappearance led to an island-wide search and investigation conducted by the police and the FBI. I was one of 30 agents who flew there to conduct the investigation for the month after the girls went missing. We searched through the jungle and the garbage dump and conducted upwards of 1,000 interviews to try to find those little girls. The problem is that there were no eyewitnesses to their abduction and zero physical evidence in the case. And here we are over a decade later, and we never found the girls, and no one has been charged with their abduction. But the real frustrating part is that we know exactly who was responsible. There is 100% certainty about who did it. But without finding these girls, alive or dead, there was no way we can make a case stick against this maniac based on the circumstantial evidence we have. And because we have a system where the burden of proof is on the government, as it should be, this guy remains free, and the case remains open, and the family of these little girls will never get closure. So yeah, not every case I touched was a winner. Thanks for watching, and be cool.
Holy shit. I mean, like, you're hearing it from, this is the guy who, by the way, who was the guy who did all the public affairs, like all the media handling and all that stuff for the FBI. And he said it right there. Now, I'm going to download this. I'll even show you the video, right? He said it right there. They know, but they know who the suspect is. He said they know with 100% certainty who that is. Are you kidding me? With 100% certainty? This is crazy because that's not what they're saying in all of those things, right? So hold on. Let's do this again. Hold on. Let me duplicate this. All right, let's pop this up here because I would definitely want us to put this on here, and I want you guys to see it. And if that doesn't burn you up, I don't know what will. Here we go. I got to creep this over a little bit so we'll be able to see it. All right, so let's do this.
In my career with the FBI, there are a few cases that still haunt me. One of them is the case of the missing Luke sisters of Saipan. Saipan is a U.S. territory in the Pacific, and in May 2011, two little girls, Milena and Philoma Luke, disappeared while waiting for the school bus in the morning. They were both wearing Dora the Explorer backpacks. The disappearance led to an island-wide search and investigation conducted by the police and the FBI. I was one of 30 agents who flew there to conduct the investigation for the month after the girls went missing. We searched through the jungle and the garbage dump and conducted upwards of 1,000 interviews to try to find those little girls. The problem is that there were no eyewitnesses to their abduction and zero physical evidence in the case. And here we are over a decade later, and we never found the girls, and no one has been charged with their abduction. But the real frustrating part is that we know exactly who was responsible. There is 100% certainty about who did it. But without finding these girls, alive or dead, there was no way we can make a case stick against this maniac based on the circumstantial evidence we have. And because we have a system where the burden of proof is on the government, as it should be, this guy remains free, and the case remains open, and the family of these little girls will never get closure. So yeah, not every case I touched was a winner. Thanks for watching, and be cool.
All right, now he's got his own channel on Instagram that you can watch, and you can reach out and message him if you want to. I got to talk to him a lot back then because 14 years ago, holy crap, 14 years ago, was it really that long ago? But then even when I was with the news back in 2014, I had to talk to him about other cases that were happening. Remember the Crisosimo case with the Godfather's waitress? Oh, awful. Oh, gosh, don't want to think about that either. But I got to deal with a lot of those folks for all of that. And, man, to hear it from him, from an actual former agent from the FBI, is the guy just doing that for, you got to ask yourself, is he doing that just for views, for clicks, and all that stuff? Or is that the legit stuff? Because they're not able to talk about that for sure. But I mean, he messaged that. He said that specifically. Like, they know exactly who it is, and they know how they did it. But because they can't find the actual bodies, alive or dead, they can't do anything about it. Where's that person? I've heard the scuttlebutt about it, that person moved out to the mainland. I don't know if they're back here. I don't know about that, but I would definitely like to learn more about it and see if there's a way to, what are you going to do? I don't know, but hopefully there's something. Anyway, guys, I think that's going to do it for our show today. We'll keep looking at that. It's 9:30 in the morning, and that is about it. It's a hell of a day. It is going to be a good day today anyway. All that stuff aside, we'll try to move on because there's nothing we can do about that right now. No body, no crime. I see that, Anthony. I see it. We'll see if we can find out more info through our bat channels. Dun, dun, dun. Anyhow, that's going to do it for us today on Good Morning Marianas. We'll be back again tomorrow morning. You want to catch us later today, you can catch us over at PIC for the general membership meeting for the Saipan Chamber of Commerce, taking place 11:30. You want to hear more about that Tinian stablecoin, you're going to hear it right from the horse's mouth. You're going to be hearing it from Tinian Senator Carl King Neighbors, and you're going to hear from Marianas Rye Corporation, Vin Armani, or whatever his name is. We'll hear from them a little bit later today. Looking forward to it. All right, guys, that's what we got for you today. Wishing you guys all the best. I hope today is your best day so far this week. So we'll see you again tomorrow morning for a Good Morning Marianas, and where we'll have another guest in studio. And look forward to doing even more. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys soon. Have a great one today.
Hi, I'm Shauna from Island Skin Solutions. If you're looking for an alternative to waxing and shaving, we have a solution for you. Our laser hair removal offers long-lasting, safe, and effective results. This month, we're offering 15% off of our laser hair removal packages, which are already buy 3, get 1 free. If you're interested in laser hair removal, contact us to set up your consultation today.
Got Medicaid? Paradise Dental's got you covered. We've got you covered from the moment you walk in the door with some of Saipan's best smiles. Medicaid covers your fillings, your extractions, and your checkups with no out-of-pocket expense. And Medicaid covers all of your x-rays without any additional cost to you. So remember, if you've got Medicaid, you're covered. Don't wait for a toothache. Call Paradise